think we can all collectively agree that a compass is an extremely awesome tool and extremely efficient at telling us where north, south, east, and west are. In fact, they have been used since 206 BC, as early as the Chinese dynasty, it says. Amazing tool at telling us where north is. The thing with a compass is that you have to hold it flat in your palm in front of your chest to use it. You don't point it on an angle. Now, if we live on this, you would absolutely have to point it at an angle. The reason I say that is because the Van Allen belt is an energetic charge particle held by a magnetic charge. Now, the magnetic charge is actually the north and south pole, apparently. And so what happens is that charge is radiating out and holding the entire Van Allen belt in place. Now, the problem with that is, again, you'd have to point through the Earth, or you'd get an absolute mess of where the North Pole is. You would never be able to tell. So, north has to be global, or the Van Allen belt doesn't work. Because, again, the Van Allen belt is held in place by this magnetic charge, by this magnetic force. We are also apparently spinning at 1650 miles per hour. But I'll get to that. So, north would be everywhere on a globe. It would have to be. So, for instance, me standing in New Zealand down the bottom here, north would have to go around the entire globe in all directions, or the Van Allen belt doesn't work. It's a big loop of lies. So, a good demonstration, people say, oh yeah, okay, so we're going to talk about the rotation. I'm going to move on to that because this is relevant to the compass. So, there's no rotation within the atmosphere, or a helicopter couldn't fly or hover in the same spot. The globe would be rotating underneath it and it would end up somewhere else, okay? It would be like over here, because this would be rotating around. So, that people tell me, globers tell me, that the reason a helicopter can hover in one spot and the Earth doesn't rotate underneath it is because of the Van Allen belt. It contains our atmosphere within this Van Allen belt, and the rotation happens outside of the Van Allen belt. Okay, so if that happens, the spaceship's never been to the moon or anywhere else for that matter, because as soon as it exits the Van Allen belt, it flies off at 1650 miles per hour minimum, because remember, we're still moving around the sun apparently in space too. So as soon as the spaceship exits the Van Allen belt, it would fly off at 1650 miles per hour minimum. Now, I would argue that the force of it flying up and the force of it being swooped off away would completely disintegrate that spaceship, not to mention it would angular, so it would, you know, if it's out here and it would go and it would be obviously completely where it's not supposed to be. Not just that, but it would also affect the thrusters and stuff. So what's actually happening is this. This is our reality. So east and west are the outside circle, and north is in the center. And that's why when you hold a compass flat, you can point it straight to north, and it will tell you exactly where north is. And that's why when you're going around the outside, if you're following north, you will always end up at the center, no matter where you are on Earth. So, yeah, that's basically it. A spaceship would fly off at 1650 miles per hour if the Van Allen belt is what's containing the rotation, so we don't feel it. Or a helicopter could hover in the same spot, and the Earth would rotate underneath it. And the reason this whole thing matters is because a compass cannot work on a globe. Because if the globe, right, with the magnetic north, which can radiate around the whole entire surface, otherwise it won't be holding in the Van Allen belt, is happening, then we would not be able to hold a compass flat and find out where true north or south or east or west is, which we can, since, if we remember, 206 BC, which was invented when everybody thought the Earth was flat. So there you go.